Hi, I am Jasmine Katadakaran. You are here to find out the 4 things not to do while trying to conceive. And these are the things that took me way too long to learn, frankly, years. And I am putting this out there for you today so it doesn't take you years. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, let's do this. Number 1, focusing on the wrong goal. And what's that goal? How do I get pregnant? Focusing on the goal, how do I get pregnant, when you're struggling to get pregnant is actually one of the worst things you can do, right? I mean, you might be thinking like, wait a minute, doesn't it seem an obvious thing to focus all your attention on? And you bet I did the same thing during my own journey. In my mind, it was always constantly like, how do I get pregnant? How do I get pregnant? And that question just kept me up for endless nights during my years of trying. And this was honestly a mistake that I'm not the only one that makes it. You might be wondering, what am I supposed to be focusing on if it isn't how do I get pregnant? Isn't that the goal? Isn't that everyone's goal who's trying to have a child, right? So what you should be focusing on is the bigger picture. And I won't get into it in a huge way right now because then this video would be way long, and I want to get into the other little tidbits that you should not be focusing on. But I was with you until I saw a different way. So a way that ends, this is a way that ends in frustration, stress, and uncertainty for, you know, even if you do get pregnant, there's still going to be something left there. So what I focused on in the end, instead of, how do I get pregnant? I looked at the bigger picture and I stepped back and I thought of myself and what will getting pregnant do for me? Why do I feel like that's going to fulfill me? And I look at those elements, and one, I could control it. Two, because I could find solutions and different ways to fulfill those feelings other than getting pregnant. So it gave me a sense of relief while trying. And also, it just made me realize that the baby is not the solution to my happiness. It's so much more than that. And I really found myself. And I want the same for you. Instead of, focusing on just how do I get pregnant, and, we're still going to try getting pregnant during this time, but I want you to look the bigger picture. What will getting pregnant do for you? And think of those elements, right? What would a baby do for you? And you kind of branch out there more. If you want to find more details on that, definitely subscribe, and then I'll go more in depth on that topic. So I'll go on to the second one now. The second one, number 2, the biggest thing not to do is keeping your thoughts and feelings inside. And trust me, I am so guilty of this. I did not tell anyone except for, my husband knew and my doctors, but not even my parents or my sister who I was really close to. I didn't tell them for years. And it was one of the biggest, I don't want to call it a mistake, but it made the journey so much harder. So I know this is one of the most personal things that can happen to you, and you don't want to be shouting it from the rooftops, but definitely find a way to release this. Either, you can do it just really personally through journaling on your own, talking to a professional, talking to your husband, reaching out to friends. And also, if you don't want to be so open about it with people that you know, there are so many communities out there now, which is amazing, where you can be part of these fertility communities and know that you're not alone. That's the most important part. So yeah, if you want to know more about the specific communities out there and the resources, I'll put them in the info under this video for you. But please, just do not think you need to do this alone and in isolation, because you aren't alone, and having support even just virtual or even journaling for me was huge. Just get your thoughts out there. Don't keep it inside. So that's number 2. Number 3 is thinking that there's only one way to a great life. So this means that, for me, when I was trying, I was so stressed that, if I can't have this child, my life is over. Not over, but you know what I mean. If you're going through this, it's you have this vision of your life, right? We all do. And when it doesn't go exactly as planned, it's hard, right? And that's what's hard to look past. That it's like, oh my God, it's not going as planned, and that's it. I'm not gonna be happy. And I definitely fell through that hole. And just know that there isn't just one way. It might not happen exactly the way you envisioned it, but have confidence that whatever happens and however it turns out, that there are multiple paths to a great life. And you'll be surprised. Sometimes, and oftentimes actually, it ends up being more extraordinary than you originally envisioned it. I know for me, it has been, I definitely did not have in my plan to be trying to have a child for over 6 years and being told that it was not possible, and going through those internal struggles and all the physical pains as well. But I can say that it's funny to say, but I'm grateful for it. I have changed to the core. This journey will change you to the core, and in most ways for the better, to be honest with you. This community is amazing, and the women in here have been through a lot, the same as you. So, yeah, just know that there's not only one way. And if that one path doesn't work out, there's another path. We just need to brainstorm and explore it, get different perspectives, and follow a different path. And before you know it, you'll get to your destination. Maybe just a little detours here and there. So the 4th thing not to do during this time is to neglect yourself. Not taking this time for you. I know this sounds kind of funny if you're like, well, what are you talking about? I'm totally focusing on me. I'm obsessing about my diet. I'm looking at all the things I should be doing, exercising and whatnot. But are you really? Because for me, I was just so stressed about, I was adding anxiety. And yes, I was doing, I was eating healthier, I was exercising, but I never really took the time to focus on my self-care in a way where it would alleviate my stress and my anxiety. And while, we go through this, our minds are always racing. So what I did during this time, and it helped me immensely, is to take time for myself. I looked at this time while I was trying to conceive and not having a child. I was like, this is, gifted time in a way for myself. What do I enjoy doing? What are things that I can do that I wouldn't be able to do if I had a child, right? And, people say travel. You can't travel as much, or, so what it looked like for me is we traveled like crazy during this time. We went on these crazy hikes that you could never do with a child. We went kayaking. We went up to Alaska and trekked the mountains. I know it sounds like, but we did a lot of like super active things. We went to Nepal, where you probably would never bring a small child in the hills of Nepal, into India, and all these amazing places that if I had let life stop and just put my life on pause and said, I won't do anything until I have this child, not only would that put me in a place of like a little bit of stress, anxiety, depression, but also it's wasted time. And so I use this time to the best of its ability. Of course, it's not time that I asked for, but okay, you gave me this extra time while I'm trying. Let's make the most of it. And also within, like, you don't have to be traveling the world. I also um, thought of things that I always wanted to do. And for me, my passions in like creating things, I took a glass blowing class. I remember I took a woodworking classes. I took cooking classes, and I light up just talking about it because it was so much fun. And that's stuff that I just allowed myself to do during this time of trying to conceive, to bring me back to myself, first of all, and create inner happiness, which I feel like gets lost in this journey. So, those are the 4 things that I really encourage you not to do. So let's back up and do a quick summary. I know it's funny, it's like not to do, yes, not to do. So thing number 1, don't focus on how do I get pregnant? How do I get pregnant? Okay? Focus on the bigger picture. Think of what will getting pregnant do for you? What feelings will that bring up? And then you can look at ways to fulfill those feelings, those needs in different ways. So you're not so focused on, I need to just get pregnant. Number 2, keeping those feelings inside. Do not keep it inside. Either share it with others, share it with yourself, journal, join communities. Just do not keep all your feelings inside, because it will eat you up inside, and you need to release that. Number 3 number 3 is there is never only just one way to a great life. Just know that, okay? Life may not come to you exactly how you had planned, but know that there are always multiple paths. And lastly, number 4, take this time for yourself. Focus on your self-care. What will make you happy? What have you always wanted to do? And by doing that, you will do multiple things. Well, one, you're investing in yourself, and you can never lose by investing in yourself, but you will also alleviate so much of that stress, anxiety during this time. So, and just have fun. I know it's easier said than done, but make a list. Make a list of what you want. So those are the 4 things, right, to not do while trying to conceive. So with that, go out, discover what you always wanted to do, start journaling, start talking to people, and I know it can be a long journey, but know that you're not alone in this. If you want to hear more about fertility or life in general, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will be uploading videos pretty regularly and discussing this and more. With that, have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.